Bang Angga, halo Siau. Bang, halo.
Halo bang, sini ke Discord Kak Depa. Ya nanti enggak. Ntar aku mau berhenti ini kita double date. Au ah. Oh kamu mau gini, mau ngobrol? Rame nggak sana enggak? nanti aku kesana. Kamu lagi live stream nggak? Atau gimana? Discordku cuma ada aku. Oke. Iya no, masa sih kamu live stream? Live iseng-iseng. Aku buka sini.
Hoi.
Nanti aku off stream dah. Aku off stream dulu.
Chat.
Kenapa cosplay gitu? Kamu lagi nih. Nih aku live stream dulu. Aku off stream dulu enggak? Off stream dulu. Ayo ngobrol di Discord deh. Ngede cuy ya kocak end stream. Ini kasihan aku mau nemenin temen aku. Lupa like lupa.
Siapa saya? Siapa Anda?
Lihat map pertama, sambil stream atuh.
It was working for them against CDG. Despite looking at this, you might think this is kind of a troll comp. I think it kind of is, but it works for them because their style is so chaotic, and Jing is just so enabled to be a psycho when he plays on that Reyna.
But he has to be hitting. I think more so than ever, it relies on Forsaken and Jing out-dueling their opponents, and Liquid are crazy. And so you've got to start this match. Such a contrast in styles. It is a team-based system from Team Liquid, with all of the utility working together to try and control areas of the map. And you've got Yampy in a pop-off position. And then on the other side of things, it's like raw aggression, trying to find timings, that kind of stuff, to disrupt Liquid.
Yeah, I think Liquid's kind of style has been a push-pull between the chaos, the scream on the Phoenix, and what Emil has brought to the table with the more kind of structured compositions, bringing more to this team, bringing more opportunity to have those nice utility coordinations, to be on point when they're in the lobby. And this composition is that. This is relying on coordination. Like you said, still gives pop-off for those two stars in Yampy and Scream. PaperX need to shut them down. This, more than ever, is a duel between two sets of stars that both need to perform.
And one of those stars on Liquid is Yampy. He's going to be playing Chamber. He's been their best player when they've played Haven recently. And this comp that PaperX are running does not have many tools to push an Opper off an angle. You've got a Leah, which is easily avoidable, a couple of flashes and a Trailblazer, and that's about it. So I think Yampy could have a god-tier performance here today.
All right, we're all set to kick off our first match of the day. So let's go ahead and send it over to the tag team champions of casting. It's Doug and Bala.
Thank you so much, GB. The storylines are already incredible. You've got Team Liquid versus PaperX, the dastardly duo of Jing and Forsaken versus the brotherly bond of Scream and Navera. This is going to be fireball. Hang on to your butts, people. It's going to be good.
Literally, what more could you ask for? And there's so much, too. This is an EMEA team trying to qual. None of them have made it so far. We're getting close to playoffs. This is it, the decider for Group A, which was the group of death.
Well, and I think everyone would have expected somebody from EMEA to make it through at this point. So for this to be where we are, I know there's been a lot of discourse around it. I think if nothing else, for the people at home who aren't emotionally tied to this is just a lot of fun.
And we're starting off on Haven with a Reyna. The desk was talking a lot about how these two comps will go up against each other. And right off the bat, we're going to have a clash in mid.
Data raket bocor, iya. Data raket bocor, iya. Aku dengar itu beritanya.
The only real exception here is Soulcast, who's peeking down a long. You see, Yampy already has to give the angle up, and off of that, Navera.
Suara ininya ada nggak? Valorantnya.
Who swings out, and Jing already gets two with the frenzy.
And that's uncharacteristic too. You would expect PaperX to be the guys taking the aggression. Team Liquid wanted to take it immediately to them.
Now note, the alarm ride is still there. It was just cleared out. Navera with 22 HP cleans up another as we're tied up at 2 apiece. Numbers have equalized, and Yampy not able to land the shots. PaperX now with the advantage. Soulcast and Navera, the only two that remain, and they're going to try to approach us from different fronts. Navera with utility, Mind Freak having to reposition, take a tiny step back as Benkai up forward. The Haunt got cleared out. Now Benkai waiting, swinging, not landing the shots. As the frenzy goes just a bit wide. Liquid having a hard time getting into this. Perhaps they can do it off the Prowler. No, not much success there either. Soulcast takes one down, but a 1-for-1 when you're outnumbered amounts to 0.
Yang salah timnya lah.
And that garage aggression did not work at all. Obviously not netting them a kill. Naveri and Yampy did work themselves back in it with the kills on C as PaperX took the site, but Yampy over-aggresses right there with the 4 headhunter bullets he has on the pistol. Just doesn't work out. And always interesting to look at.
Suaranya ada. Oke, aman ya, aman ya.
Seen something like that.
Aman ya, kita ngobrol sambil nonton.
It's just the nature of it, right? This is still such a young game. But happy to see these two teams face off in a match as important as this.
start to see this fight for A main control. PaperX do a lot of really cool things off of Jing's leer to control on.
But this time they're actually using it to pivot immediately. Yeah. And you see how Liquid has fallen off into the site. Immediately this Trailblazer is going to give him a lot of free access, but Yumpy is on point.
Yeah, he may have missed the first couple of shots in the first round, but he's not missing that one. He doesn't miss that one either. With the leer up high, he swings back down and takes care of Jing. You start to see the numbers go so heavily in favor of Liquid. Remember, it's just pistols. You see it on your screen right now. Sheriff's a shorty, and well, the Headhunter that's been the main problem point for PaperX here.
While on the verge of being thrifty, there's still so much room to work with here for PaperX. Benkai's all the way in the A site, but the thing is,
bang, mana tahu ntar pas ketahuan siapa dalang semuanya itu kayak udang di balik bakwan, udang di balik batu anjing.
They both have specters and they're both very healthy.
Ray, sini Ray ke Discordku Ray, join ke Discordku Ray, ramein Ray.
No idea of where Liquid might be.
Aku sering sendiri sekarang di Discordku sendiri.
Usually in the first 2 games, Liquid wasn't really finding much with a couple of Sheriff buys or Shorty buys. But this is a whole round that they're potentially about to take.
And the key here is overwhelm. They did manage to find those 2 specters that they got off of the kills, but the key here for Liquid is overwhelm, given the gun situation. Dubai is going to get CC'd up. A flash to try to delay, to buy some time as Benkai swings around. One's already fallen. The smoke off leaves Dubai in a brutal spot, and Dubai gets 2. How has he gotten this far? He's outnumbered though. And Scream Sheriff cleans it up at the end.
That was dangerous for Liquid after having such a strong advantage. They tried to swarm,
but there
just wasn't enough bullets to actually trade the kills efficiently there. Either way, they come out with the round. They come out with the thrifty win right off the bat. After a solid pistol idea, but not getting there on the execution. The second run will pay dividends, though.
Shots from Yumpy already crispy, and again, we mentioned they went a little sideways in the first round, but I do think Yumpy feeling himself is so pivotal to Liquid's success. We talk about Scream a lot and Navarro a lot for good reason, but when Yumpy's on, Liquid is scary.
I think this is the biggest difference for them. Starting at LCQ was him going full time on that chamber hole. Here's an eco attempt from PaperX. It's just a one-way, and Yumpy's on top as well. So that's going to get just slapped back.
Yeah, it's now twice that Forsaken tries to take a wide angle and try to take some space, and Yumpy's there to greet him.
Normally, you'd actually have somebody from PaperX trying to bait for Forsaken to take that peek. But it does feel like that's something that's been missing this event so far.
PaperX against 2nd place in Copenhagen, likely not expecting to find themselves in this situation either, right? Elimination still in groups.
But
it seems like PaperX may be warming up at just the right time. Benkai
again.
Filthy shot.
Oh, nice Jing.
Once again overwhelmed.
Benkai is ult in 3rd round.
We'll see if they can swing this back. Remember, PaperX just had a thrifty round win. And it seems to be going in their favor.
No more charges left.
Now Demise upgraded a weapon. He's still in Mind Freak's hand. The spike is going to go down A.
2v2 now this time. Look at the approach the Team Liquid is taking, though. Slow from Demasik, but Yumpy immediately on the flank, and they just saw him inside of B.
No, Mind Freak has no stars. Divide just got a flash.
Also, Demasik just smoked A long. So that's another bit of misdirection. Yumpy's not going to opt to actually use that smoke to his advantage, though.
Yumpy creeping forward. Demasik 5 HP. You look at him funny at this point, and he's dead. The flash.
Aku Liquid soalnya dia lumayan jago Reina. Emang iya Ray? Emang iya?
It's a 1v1 and Yumpy clutches it out for Liquid.
Emang Liquid jago Reina?
To give Liquid the lead.
But they took a lot of damage there, Doug. And remember, that was an eco from PaperX after they lost the 2nd round.
Very costly.
So who knows what's the situation going to be like? Is PaperX going to be at advantage economically? We'll see. Great shots from Benkai. And the double pinch here, Benkai completely blind when he was going for that swing, but he goes for it anyways. And that puts Jing in a great spot to get that kill, even though Team Liquid wasn't shooting back. And it is
kalau early game gitu seagresif gitu ya.
Nah,
kalau PRX, kalau timnya yang PRX ini, dia emang gameplaynya mereka itu emang agresif, emang maju gaming gitu kalau PRX mainnya.
So as soon as that flash comes out, should be okay. But Scream's here, he might want to stay.
He's playing on the edge, man. You saw him step just on the outside of that rendezvous range. Now back into it, the flash, and he takes it away. You weren't expecting Scream here, though. Looked like he did a little bit of damage, and then it's going to satchel to safety.
Oh, bisa gitu
Good
dong.
movement as well from Scream. Not the angle you expect him. Falling back from sewers, maybe falling back from long.
You saw they just had to heal Forsaken back up. He's got no armor left.
Dulu si Scream ini yang di tim Liquid nih, dia one tap master di gini anjir CS.
Oh, what a fault line.
Oh, but the Cloudburst is so good! The Cloudburst provides everything! And now Benkai on the swing clears at Yumpy, but Scream has not been dealt with yet. The showstopper up top as he tries to get past the Seekers, and it's all delay.
That just slowed him down so hard. The problem here for Paper Rex, while they're sprinting to the other side of the map, they've only got 30 seconds left. They're going to commit towards that seaside, and they should get this down. Liquid's not recognizing that because of the pressure Jing is putting on right now.
Yeah, at a best case scenario, he gets a kill on the way out, but he's a sacrificial lamb at this point. He got what he wanted for. Has a chance to get a second. Paranoia, they still have no idea. They still have no idea.
Not even rotating, and Jing says, yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and take these fights anyways because I can.
2 massive kills out of him. And now Scream's in a spot where he's, oh, what the heck do I do?
And that's a Paper Rex classic, too.
Padahal nggak main side.
Just leaving a player there, and Jing
Kalau
with the
defender kan
confidence
pasti
to do
main
that.
side.
You heard
Kalau
him
defender.
in the teaser talk about facing up against Scream, and
Cuma kalau
like,
misalkan
yeah,
PRX defender juga kadang mainnya nge-push kalau
he
PRX.
respects him so much.
Karena dia emang playstyle timnya tuh emang maju-maju gitu.
Look much better right on the onset that they did in either of their series so far.
Oh. Best here Screams able to preserve that weapon. Yeah, and that was the only real challenge that was thrown his way. So he's going to carry that forward. See how much more Liquid can muster up.
Yeah.
It's not going to be much. A couple of sheriffs, maybe a guardian, something like that.
And remember, it was in the previous round that Yumpy used that tour de force, so it's not like they have that to work with.
Yeah, didn't get a single kill with it. But Paper Rex did do a good job neutralizing him. And I thought that for a second, Yumpy was going to stay with Scream as he dueled in sewers. But I do like the decision from Scream to take a couple pot shots. He got a dink and then fell off. Yeah. And Yumpy knew that that was going to be the case. This fight was really good, in my mind, from Team Liquid. But Paper Rex's response, which we already saw in the pistol to that aggression, is solid. Just escaping. Not only were they already running away, by the way, from the showstopper, just cautiously reapproaching that and scaling back sewers.
Looks like we have a delay here. As soon as we figure out what it is, we will let you people know at home. But again, tied 2-2. Yumpy starting off exceptionally well. We've already seen the Reyna make plays. We've seen Jing, as we just mentioned in the previous round, do some outrageously dirty things on A. Now he has that Empress online. We'll see if he chooses to use it here soon.
Yeah, it's always super interesting to see how Paper Rex is going to approach these anti-ecos. And we are back into the game. So there's a couple stingers purchased. And the theme so far has been Team Liquid trying to find the space to go really aggressive.
You saw it in the first round.
First round,
right.
The last round.
Yeah.
They're just trying to find out where Paper Rex is and going right to them. And I think that might be an okay approach, given that if you can burn the utility out for Paper Rex here, because they have the 2 duelists, you're not going to have as much later on to execute, but this one's much faster for Forsaken. Look, it's only Soulcast here. And Paper Rex might have gotten the beat on that.
And I wonder if they were expecting something aggressive too, because you see the gravity well set up. I think they maybe were expecting Yumpy to be a step up or something. Either way, yeah, Soulcast watches that happen.
Tahu kamu nyimpen nggak?
And don't forget too, you should always expect here the fault line from Nobar, and it wasn't there this round.
Still has it. Soulcast still alive. There was that fault line that we were just mentioning.
Just heard him get in the cage, though, so they know there's somebody close to sewers.
Bentar ya, aku disuruh ngeditin file adikku.
Soulcast may be trouble here. Oh, but Mind Freak on the swing. You see the trap wire just on the outside of Link. Yumpy from up top, but the Cosmic Divide is going to provide some trouble.
Is there a gap from the peak? There is!
Oh, there was! I thought it would be too narrow. Forsaken tries to go up 6 HP. Oh. You heard the Empress use from Jing. And he's just waiting on the other side. You see this, the knife out there from Yumpy. We've seen that happen way too many times.
If they faced it, this is really bad for Jing.
Oh, there are too many targets, way too many targets. Scream cleans him up. Benkai down in hell, does nothing. Liquid take the lead back.
And that is now another lightish buy from Liquid that they pull out and win against the buy from PaperX.
Kesibukanmu apa sekarang, Ray?
That is huge. Again, just responding tit for tat. And that, again, remember at the beginning of that round, Jing pushed, or Forsaken pushed out long A. They kind of figured out potentially Soulcast is going to be here alone, and they execute while he is there alone. Yet somehow, you have Navarre getting back in time to give him a fault line. You give him so much room, and the retake started by Yampi with the 2 kills is insane in front of that Cosmic Divide. He's got the op now.
Yeah, massive. I mean, the second one probably should have never happened. Either way. You mentioned the op in the hands of Yampi, sure enough. Take a look and see what he can do early on, and it does not look like that's where the push is headed. Vi, spots ahead of Nibera. And that's it for now, so they don't feel comfortable about going into garage or going in towards C.
They're going to face the op.
Yeah, I mean, by process of elimination, maybe, but there's no, like, solid cue for them to understand that the op is here, that Yampi's here.
Cage is good, though, but
Yampi's better. Soon as the cage goes down, Forsaken follows too. The Lear out, and Yampi gets the 3rd. The 4th right before him, and he lands it! A prime gaming flawless for Liquid.
And that's exactly the type of round you finally want to shut PaperX down when they're going back and forth. Just a ridiculous round from Yampi.
A ridiculous half from Yampi.
So far, it's been monstrous. This, again, has been the most pivotal change in my mind. Yes, Scream went crazy at LCQ. But Yampi moving to full-time operator, full-time chamber, has been so, so good. Liquid finally committing to it. And the great thing about it is it gives him consistency in playing an entry role side by side with Scream, especially when it comes to these defensive sides. They're sharing their load completely equally, and Yampi's success rate is so good.
A 13-3 start for the chamber from Team Liquid. Absolutely outrageous. Scream is playing very well as well. You were just highlighting those two. And it just seems like as much as PaperX maybe have found something of what was going on towards A, Yampi just totally flips the book on him and just obliterates them. And remember, that was a gun round for PaperX, right? Like, that was not a pistol round, anything like that. That was good against good.
And Liquid is actually broken the economy too, as PaperX, with this timeout, decides how to proceed with their tail end of this first half. It's going to be difficult. Specifically, though, the desk was talking about how to deal with Yampi's op. And you have the Reyna Flash, you have the Trailblazer, but not much else. You have a couple Sky Flashes. You don't have the double initiator tools that Liquid does, for example.
Here.
You have to take the pace to him. And you just saw what happens when you try.
You know, you often see rounds like that and you go, okay, well, but can he do that again, right? Is he going to be able to consistently land a 4K by himself on A? With the op, and the thing is, it's on these stages that players like Yampi deliver, and they manage to do so consistently. So you're right, do you really want to go at that again? Scream with the satchel through the smoke, feeling some pressure. A really good paranoia. I think that hit everyone.
Either way, D-Man has to get out of there. And they give up the site.
I got the spike.
And we'll get Knives actually online here for Forsaken, so this is a very doable round here with the time pressure.
Really nice nightfall. Forsaken has to go big here. He's been very quiet in this round so far in this map, and he continues to get out of every round with nothing but a whimper. Yampi's still holding that up, understanding there's someone playing that cover. He knows it's there.
Yeah.
There it is, the swing out from Navarre to try to provide some cover. Jing and Forsaken both go down. The spike with the fuse comes through, and Liquid gets a 5.
Mindfreak actually gets 2 as the win banner's up.
They have so much money, though. I mean, Scream's at 74, now 83.
And the important part, too, is, right, they didn't get the op out of the hands.
Yeah.
That's the one that you might have wanted to go for. At least he gets a couple of ult orbs going down with him. And this is it. Right now, PaperX needs to find a way to actually get advantages in these rounds with the form of these first duels. Right now, it's definitely not going their way.
No, not at all.
But it hasn't been going their way in the first 2 series, too. Leviathan was pummeling them. overall this tournament, Paper Rex has only gotten 43% of first engagements. That is very poor for a team like Paper Rex with star power like Forsaken and Jing.
I mean, a far cry from what we've known them to be. And maybe that's what's missing, right? As you look at this Paper X project throughout the tournament, you go, something feels a little off. They're not quite as electric as they have been in the past. Maybe that's the issue. It's tough to say. Either way, they find themselves down 3 rounds here in this opener against Liquid.
Just attempts. Liquid is giving them nothing, though. And there's 3 players here. The breach for ult is already here.
And it was all told from the beginning. Right, as soon as Mindfreak puts the 2 smokes down on the links, they drop the Rolling Thunder and they just walk right into it. That was such a good read by Liquid.
It is just a trade though, so now Paper Rex is able to spend the remaining time of this round, which is only 40 seconds, to start working it. But I fear they might go right back into Yampi here.
And Yampi still has that op. Plenty of money to work with too. You hear the ult
They just spotted 2.
Yeah.
Really good play from Demit. Very heads up, but misinformation now because they are going to hit this B site, but still, knowing exactly where they are, knowing how much time they have left, Jing.
He has to be able to relieve the pressure, and he can't! Doesn't find the kill on Navera. Yampi's still on A. Now the question is, does he try to push in alongside Navera, or does he flank around? You've got Mindfreak who's already playing back in window.
Look at him expecting the Benkai flank for so long. It's not coming.
Does he have a star? Does he have something on site? I don't think he does. All of his stars have been used. It's just Tripwire's there. So there's nothing to pull him off the defuse. They have no utility for post-plan items. What they have is Mindfreak. And Mindfreak, good for 1, not able to get the second. Navera on the tap. Divide from backside gets a 3rd. Dima's left alone, and Dima falls.
That is a super cautious round from Team Liquid, and it ultimately, that decision to be so slow there loses them. I do have to commend Navera, great utility here, but they only get a trade from that. So setting up a trap play
1 enemy remaining.
with an entire ult doesn't work that well. And then also Paper Rex to be able to pivot after losing the information battle. And Divide coming up huge on the site. They knew exactly the extremities they needed to hold, and they did it.
Live ngerjain tugas enggak di nonton, Cok.
He's already rendezvoused back site 2 and you see the pings on the minimap. They have a really good idea of where he's set up right now.
Lagi nonton. Tapi adikku tadi minta ngeditin bentar. Thank you, udah mampir deh. Jangan lupa like, jangan lupa subscribe.
Look past the leer, look past the flash, and look right in the back of Forsaken's head. Now the neural theft through a 4v4
Forsaken keculik terus anjay. Bang, bantu print skripsiku juga yang 10 bab cuma butuh 100 lembar. Bacot bet. Data subrek mantap di.
Just responding so well to the utility thrown out there. Navera trying to peek by himself though. Ill-advised against Jing of all people.
The team is here. Yeah, they do, and it doesn't matter. Benkai with a bullet between his eyes. Falls Yampi with the op.
Aku lebih suka ngeliat Jing main race di sini. Nice trade.
Excuse me, it was Jing either way. The crossfire was too good.
That just fell apart for Liquid.
Yeah,
nice cover.
The setup among A, where Soulcast was trying to hold at the beginning there. And Scream's not fighting with him at all. I don't even think they shot the Leer. Because Soulcast looked away when he tried to kill Forsaken. It was still there for sure.
And I wonder if the cage was maybe obscuring it or something. I don't know. It's tough to say for sure.
But then the follow-up, right? Navera's trying to flash for Scream, but there's the Trailblazer. There's so much pressure for him when he's inside that cubby. Little bit of miscommunication there, and then to overcommit to.
Apakah lagunya ini bisa bikin copyright ya?
Very well set up. I think we have to keep an eye on Reyna. As much as we talk about Jing and how electric he is, the truth is, Reyna's feast or famine, right? And if he continues to warm up, if he continues to have rounds like that, he can take over the game. And he, you know, as you kind of look down that roster, you go, who's going to be the one to stand up against Yampi in his 13-5 start? You kind of have to look towards him.
Two J's, Ying and Yampi. They are dominating for sure.
They are.
Jing with a couple of multi-kills at this point. And sure, there was a round, you know, the round he lurked into C-Link. They still netted that round, by the way. Maybe because of the space that he's creating. There was the round on A as well, where he's just ripping apart the slow rotation from Team Liquid. And these are the things they just discussed in the timeout. Emil is going to have to bring them back to their senses here. It's only been 2 in a row for Paper Rex right now. So it's not the end of the world. But before this, it kind of felt like they had control.
Yeah, and that no longer feels to be the case at all. Good tour de force used.
Bankai's committing both of his cages in front of the Opera here. So you could use these not only to give misinformation, are we actually crossing at this point? But he can also put it back up for them to fall out.
Tapi bisa headshot di timing yang pas gitu ya. Bukan masalah Reynanya yang jago, anjir. Orangnya yang main.
Oh, this is a cool actually play through the wall.
Orangnya yang main yang jago.
They have a triple peek through eventually.
This is all misdirection. The way it's lined up, you have no idea if they're entering true B or
Apakah
true C, if they're
PRX
going to
akan
rotate away or what they're going to do. But what they do is they cut noise and they stay. And
Waduh.
Yampi does too. But Navera trades it back. 45 HP, a gravity well at his feet, and he lands a shot onto Devi anyway. Ying on the swing. Soulcast trades it back. He gets a second on the round. Liquid
Kenapa
gets
cuma
to
aku yang
6.
ngeliat kayak per second itu sekarang biasa aja, anjir.
To wall themselves off, give them a little gap so they could peek on multiple different surfaces. But it just doesn't give them the space and actually fixes an issue Team Liquid has been having, right? Which is getting these rotations here on time, which is not overcommitting to fighting and holding. Everybody's here in time. Soulcast is ready to fight. Scream is ready to fight. Yampi is ready to fight. And the flashes were all used already.
Kenapa coachnya heboh-heboh ya? Mobile Legends aja nggak seheboh itu, anjir.
Well thought out. At least in that instance, tried to keep him guessing outside of the timeout.
Now quiet.
Per second 29 anjir.
Oh my goodness. Liquid feel like they're 3 steps ahead of Paper X right now.
Oh, in this round specifically. Navera right there. Just ready for it. And we have to start looking as well. Forsaken down in this round, Divide down in this round. 2 big tools. Forsaken the space clearing. I know he's not been having a great game so far.
Forsaken singkat banget hidupnya, anjir.
Smoke out there. Oh gosh, I thought he was gonna hit that. Benkai called for where that trap was. Dropped his Mind Freak, drops the smoke on it.
How is he alive?
Just at the right time. They've invested the wrong thunder. They've invested the wrong thunder. Benkai only has 70 HP. Surely, if you can get past this, you can stay alive. And how much more trouble can he cause? How much more damage can he inflict on the opponents? Liquid have already lost 2 members.
They're just dueling.
It's gotten down to a 2v2. Remember, Benkai's still alive.
30 seconds
but
left.
barely breathing. Smoke through. They're gonna get the spike down.
Player standing.
Ya, dia pada mau diam dalam
Now
semut.
Mind Freak outnumbered. And the showstopper.
He's gonna face. Wow.
I respect it. I respect it. Scream patient. Scream shoots the
Ah,
sidestep, and it's
mati.
not enough. Mind Freak cannot dodge the explosives in his lap. Liquid get the defuse.
No magic there.
Push a button. Save
And
the
it's
day.
7-4. Starting to be a really good lead now for Team Liquid. And I also think, remember,
Last round in the half.
economically, Paper Rex broke it in the last round. It's going to be a rough buy.
Dapat 2 anjir.
Look at that peek with the prowess from Soulcast. Just destroys them.
Very well played out from Liquid.
Forsaken
They find
sumpah
themselves
singkat
1
banget
minute away
hidupnya, anjir.
From half with a lead.
Maksudnya nggak survive sampai akhir gitu
You
kan.
mentioned the buy on the side of Paper X. You're right, it's not great. 2 Bulldogs, a Spectre, and a Stinger. But if we've learned anything in this first half, it's that you don't count any rounds out, especially broken buy ones.
Paper Rex gave up a lot on this push into Garage early on in the half. Going back to it now, and Forsaken still leading the charge with Jing. Fault line nullifies that Sky Flash, and they can't really peek with it, and Forsaken's inside the Aftershock.
He had to swing out. He had
What
no
a
choice but to
smoke!
go into his Cloud Burst, and he's rewarded for the aggression with 1. Now 4v4 on the side. Team is still playing alongside Soulcast. Soulcast has fallen. Dima does too.
Kena ding, kena ding.
Provide the problems. They're gonna get this round
Oh,
back.
nice Jing.
They just worked through the C-Link with both of their duelists.
Spike planted.
And Forsaken finds a hole. It's planted for backside here. Yampi finds the timing. He saw Divide and he did not be seen back.
Yampi creeping around, trying to find his first target. My goodness, it doesn't get any cleaner than that. Now upgrades weapon, has the Vandal, still healthy.
Teleport's ready.
Jing to save the round for Paper X to get to a 7-5 and that looked dangerous and precarious for a moment. But Benkai is able to nullify it.
Nice
7-5 for Liquid Ball.
Liquid
It almost felt
grogi
foreboding.
mungkin
It
bisa
almost
jadi
felt
sih.
ominous whenever we saw the buyout from Paper X as we go, oh crap, they're going to do it again, aren't they?
So many of these light buy rounds working out for Paper X, and that's why this game is still so close.
7-5 half in favor of Liquid. Let's throw it down to the desk, see what they think of that first one.
All right, so we got a little bit of a taste here in this first half, and so far, if you're Yampi, you are having a great time, and I think we should talk about
Ada
him right
sebentar
out of the
weh.
gate because, you
Halo.
know, Josh, you
Thank
said
you,
that
mampir deh.
Yampi has the potential to have a god game, and so far, so good. Look at this, man. The stats are out of this world.
Yeah, he was just absolutely
Banyak
astounding.
offsetnya.
And not just getting kills, but making rounds
Terlalu
difficult for them too.
gitu mainnya.
His headhunter was lights out at the beginning, and then as soon as he got the operator in his hands,
Kamu lagi streaming deh.
look at the Trailblazer not being able to see him here. He just reads the comp and how they're going to clear him so
Tahu
well.
PRX
And his
kayak
aim
biasa aja,
was
aku ngeliatnya mainnya
phenomenal.
sekarang
And
anjir.
this round was just
Nggak terlalu
absolutely
yang wah-wah
dismal.
banget
Paper X
kayak
doesn't have
kemarin
any
gitu.
utility to clear him out. They're just trying to take these fights, and he's still alive, still holding on to this space.
Kita should beli.
Clear, doesn't matter.
Ayo,
Yampi
Nobar.
gets the kill
Nobar
regardless.
PRX,
It's
Liquid.
absolutely absurd what he was able to pull off, and it shows such good intelligence and awareness of how his opponents play.
Yeah, I liked the way that Benkai was using his cyber cages for that, and the fact that they were comboing Lears and stuff, but the fact of the matter is that they just don't have enough tools to push him out, and Yampi's got a great read on how they're going to play.
Yeah, a lot of those moments felt like a comp difference, and that could very well be the story as we head into the second half as well. For Paper X, when you're running
Bina,
these type of
halo,
duels,
Bina.
you lose out on a lot of that big
Thank you, dah,
initiator utility
mampir.
that normally defines how you play the retake on these maps. And just the other day, when they were playing versus EDG with the same comp, they were constantly conceding plants. 6 out of 12 rounds, they gave it away to EDG, and they won half of them. That's great, but I think Team Liquid has shown to be a much stronger team in those post plants. You cannot rely on the utility, so you need to have big moments from players like Forsaken and Jing to be able to win out on those rounds.
And talking about Forsaken, he's 3 and
I was
11.
gonna say, yeah.
3 and 11 at the half. Jing got positive by the time round 10 rolled around, but Forsaken was still 1 and 8 at that point in time.
Ouch.
So while Jing is still finding those moments, Forsaken really needs to warm up right now because they have to get aggressive, have to deny the plants coming down from Liquid.
Bina, kalau kamu buang air kecil di kamar mandi atau di WC sama aja Bambang. Kalau aku di sini WC itu disebut kamar mandi. Kalau di sini, kalau di aku ya. Kalau di kalian sama juga nggak sih? Harusnya sama sih.
Yeah, well, it feels like PRX is going to have to dig deep if they want to try and pick off this win here against Liquid. Let's send it back over to your casters, Doug and Bala.
Thank you so much, Shubi. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It's going to have to be quite a performance.
Kenapa tidak ada yang menarik untuk ditonton ya?
All eyes fall on Forsaken.
Yeah.
Very quiet first half, and now you put him on the defensive side where, you know, maybe you aren't necessarily expecting to be the one to dictate the pace, but you almost have to, right? You almost have to try to spark something.
It does give him the defensive op option, which certainly could be a thing, but with the 2 initiators on the side of Team Liquid, you know they have the tools to deal with it. Look at this stack on the B side.
Lanjut guys, nonton.
And Jing.
Yeah, and Jing had already used a Lear to try to create some space there. So it looked like they were trying to find something aggressive and early, but nothing was found.
Toilet biasanya untuk WC juga.
He has a kill trip, Soulcast. Get really close to it, but he finally does spot.
Ay, mati. Kejepit ya, kejepit.
Well, I mean, let's find whatever info we can before we die, I guess.
Jumpy ini bagus loh. First shootnya dia pas kena kepala tadi.
They're gonna push spawn. Look at this. Mind Freak has to be ready.
Yeah. And I wonder if they are expecting it. He's holding
Nice,
faster.
Davai.
Made his way up B. Now they've taken care of
They're
Yampi.
sticking.
He can push forward.
They gave up the spike. What is going on here?
They have no idea! What? Why?
Enemy remaining.
Team Liquid with the the idea to push spawn after there's the flank.
Karena
They
defuse,
spotted
anjir.
it, but they just completely misread how fast it was going to come and then misplayed where they planted the spike for.
Oh, they had to have just not believed it. Right, surely they just thought it was a fake, a bluff.
And that's not both pistol rounds lost for them in this one. Nothing to do there if you're Benkai. The interesting part, right? They didn't smoke him off, which is why he's like, okay, I'll take this fight.
Karena defuse. Dah?
It's one way, but shouldn't be the biggest deals here on the anti-eco, but there's a lot of shares here from Team Liquid.
Flash just got some info mid too, out from Divai.
Wah, cepet banget mereka.
Team Liquid with the spike money
Retake-nya.
don't invest fully in going for a force buy, but they
Tipis
do
loh
buy
itu.
a lot of shares here.
Apa iya, Dek? Apa iya tipis, Dek?
Light buy seemed to work out okay. So they choose to go safe. They choose to just stick with the sheriffs.
Nih, for second nih, mana nih? No action for second anjir.
Jing just gets the kill and
Anjir, Jing
runs around and
pede banget anjir.
like, where is everybody?
No, Soulcast is behind them. If they don't clear that out all the way down C long, he could be problematic. They tuck alongside the wall.
How many times have we seen this angle not show much? Divide will try to peek, but they miss the timing. So again, the flank is coming fast, and I don't think they have any idea here.
No, it's just this. It's just.
Lemparnya kemana coba?
Right, but the sheriff could be a problem.
Lemparnya ke side itu, cuma kalau scan-nya si scan-nya siapa sih namanya? Scan-nya Fade itu gampang banget dihancurin.
Soulcast is now left alone in this 1v3. The benefit is that they don't know where they are, but Jing is already on the defuse.
He's fast enough.
Swing out very quickly.
Untung Jing cepet responnya, cok.
With the defuse, Empress online.
For second kasian banget anjir, mati mulu dah.
Sewers, nobody's covering.
Guys, help.
He takes care of it really handily. Yeah, sure, that could have gotten dangerous, but Paper X again.
Sumpah aku kasian sama for second loh.
The information
Dia mati mulu anjir.
they cleared out the rendezvous, so they knew that flank was coming anyways. And so they just trailblazer up against Yampi. He deals with it, but not enough in the tank.
Paper X have both Star Duelists right now, poised up along short. Look at your mini-map, both Jing and Forsaken standing side by side, and they're both going to swing out, and they're both going to do it fast. The spam's through, but it was the Prowler from Soulcast that keeps them at bay.
And with the long control, it's really
Udahlah,
hard
for
to defend
second.
this. Yes, they can challenge and fight the players who are in A lobby, but if, for example, Team Liquid want to set up a pinch,
Kena gigit serigala.
The thing is, they haven't given up any of that space that they've taken. They're still playing down short, but a Prowler's going to spot him again, or at least spot a little bit. They get cleared out. Liquid decide to cut ties with the eastern side of the map and rotate over towards C.
and one of the things that they got there was information about both of the duels. And so now they know. Probably going to be the Cypher on the other side of the map, potentially playing with a trip inside of B.
Drian lol, yo, halo Drian.
Spine freaking Benkai,
Welcome.
which they hope they can abuse and
Thank
take
you udah
advantage of.
mampir.
Look at how Paper X respond. They start
Jangan
to
lupa
rotate
di like
to
ya,
the side, give
sama
up
di
on standing
subscribe.
flank coming around. There is a trip out from Yampi, covering that side.
Soulcast got to be careful. That dart inside. There's 3 coming fast. You're right.
Nice.
Team 6 already fallen. You've got the Rolling Thunder too, and it's going to push them all back. But the thing is, they haven't taken care of Benkai yet. He's still around Garage. Oh, and the
Yeah.
swing is through.
Bear worked in the cubby.
Aduh, mati nih.
Oh gosh, they're reloading. He dismisses though. He tries to reposition, and
Ya
he's the only one
ampun.
alive.
Sampai dapat 2 gitu loh. Udah subscribe sejam masih 200-an bang.
That was
Idi.
beautiful. And
Thank
there's
you udah
also
mampir
smoke
lagi
put
ya
down
Adrian ya.
at just the right moment there. I'm not sure if that
Aku
was
baru streaming
must have
lagi
been
nih.
Demon Six smoke. It was so well played to counter the, again, 3rd round in a row here where there's been a flank, a big flank from Paper X.
They roll deep, bro.
And Paper X, while they did win the pistol, they're going for the 2nd round here after winning the bonus as well. But there's a stinger in the hands of Benkai. He's been playing with kill trips, so I'm wondering how he gets value out of that.
Wah,
Put the ball in the hands of your star players.
Mati. Nggak di backup.
Chased down and hunted by a Prowler.
susah
And then
susah
the swing
susah.
out from Nobar cleans him up.
And You said feast or famine, that was that moment right there. Too much utility to deal with. And the utility is useless.
Halo, dia adalah saya. Halo, player F2P. Thank you udah mampir ya.
Everything.
Yeah, he's gotten to a 1v3. Still hasn't been able to upgrade a weapon. He does have the neural theft. Spots 2 there. Steps to the right side. For a second, it looked like Navarro was down.
Hampir. Drian adalah saya. Oh, kamu Drian. Akun fake.
Either way, that was so
Fake account.
for Paper Rex to try to have a good round there. But they immediately just walk down mid and Team Liquid again, ready for it.
Kita bikinin story IG dulu kali ya.
This has been something that has been mounting for Paper Rex for so long, has been their style being read as players get more experience against them, as there's more.
Gimana kamu masih main Genshin nggak player F2P?
And Team Liquid right now is completely playing with that in mind.
Absolutely. I mean, the chaos becomes notably less chaotic when you're expecting it, right? When you know it's coming. And that's exactly what we saw from Liquid in that last round. Now off of that, a weird buy for Paper Rex. They do have the Blades from Forsaken's hands. And they do have a Marshall in the hands of Mindfreak. The Blades do land. Yeah, that was very well timed.
The flip-flop between Mindfreak in the back of sight with the Marshall, and then Forsaken coming out on top of that C-long box. Easy way to find a kill on a light buy round here.
And it works. Forsaken missed a couple Blades there, so it wasn't pretty, but it worked. And now he's repositioned over to A, and that's exactly where the push is headed. They have Jing here with the Stinger. They also have Devi who's rotating
Forsaken's
over.
going with this flash.
He's going to get info off of that, and you're right, he goes forward. He gets another kill. Now that Empress has been used, Forsaken has to take a step back, and he goes up top.
Another flash coming.
Waiting for it. There's the swing, and he's gone hunting. Oh, from up top! But the Blades don't land, the Classic does. Demasic falls, another thrifty round win.
There's been so many from both sides. Not just the thrifties, but the light buy wins too. And that one was crucial.
Just to keep them in the game, bro.
Exactly. I mean, the last round that they lost, that one was so important. Would have swung the economy again. And it did force them to go down on the save. But the staying power, when finally Forsaken comes online,
Gimana sih bikinnya?
critical of him a little bit because the first half he went 3-11. And there were so many setups there for him. Not only did he get the backside swing from Mindfreak with the Marshall, the misdirection there, but as soon as he got to that A site, there was a flash from Devi, and then secondly, another flash for him. Essentially 3 kills from support.
And I mean, again, really, when you have a player of Forsaken's caliber who isn't necessarily feeling it, you want to continue putting him in positions to succeed, right? Set him up, give him some agency, give him some room to work with. That's what Paper Rex do there, and they did it gorgeous.
And it's kind of the opposite as well for Paper Rex than Team Liquid situation, where they have a star opera in Yampi, who they want to put on Chamber this event. Forsaken coming off of Chamber, he played Chamber in one of the games that they played on Haven so far in this event. And you just don't have the same amount of tools to set him up like you just saw as when he's playing on Jet. And that might be, one of those symptoms that deals with the support structure and how the top level players on these teams
Bang, apa Jan?
as they are.
Jan, join lu Discordku Jan. Biar rame biar rame di serverku Jan. Linknya di deskripsi teman-teman ya. Jangan lupa join Discordku teman-teman.
There's the setup again as well. Hand holding him until he can get past that Prowler.
Linknya ada di deskripsi.
But now that they hear the execute hitting on this site.
Oh my god.
Oh,
dapat 2 Jing, nice Jing. Nice Benkai.
And Yampi again left alone.
Apakah kan clutch? Oh, ketahuan.
He doesn't have the spike in his hands either. I mean, he's nowhere near it.
And they know. Oh, they know.
And the benefit here for Liquid here is this round is likely lost. But because of his ult situation, Yumpies, if he dies, he may not be able to buy another up, but he is going to have that tour de force to work with in the next round. And that might be the only thing they have to work with. They've got no money.
Let's see what he can do, though. He just dodged the flash, so thinking he's not here. There's the jump spot. Well played from Divide, but he didn't see them the first time.
30 seconds left.
Saw Forsaken creeped up. Benkai creeped up.
Mantap Jan, bagus Jan, kamu sudah join Jan.
Trying the best to isolate here.
He's gotten the spike, and he's gotten out. Now, how do they scatter? Look at him.
They don't know where the TP was. Forsaken's leaving the site right now, but there's still the camera.
Yampi also dropped the op. And now the flash is going to give his position away. They're going to swarm him. They're going to overwhelm
Lah
him.
Discordnya Asun apa mencoba mandiri sekarang nih? Bukan, aku pengen membangun lagi server Discordku yang terbengkalai.
If they pick it up, dude, yeah, you could tell. Do we want a double up setup?
Senjata apa itu, Cok?
Has his. They choose not to pick up Yampi's.
I don't even know.
Pedang apa tuh? Pedang knife apa tuh?
Not just who would do it, but how they want to use it. I'm thinking maybe there's been rounds where Team Liquid has.
Iya, Cok. Kasian kali aku bikin server tapi nggak pernah ada orang. Sumpah ya, enak kali nembak Phantom nih kalau kena, Ci. Oh. Biasa yang kayak gitu. Iya, Ci. Sini Jan, kapan-kapan poin atau voice Jan. Ini Forsaken nih kenapa ya? Mainnya underperform kali sih. Mati.
Yampi's tour de force stops it. 3v3 here, and they've got to be careful. Soulcast is ult.
Smoke just came back up, but they're through.
It's just Benkai that's through. It's just Benkai, and he falls. And there's the Nightfall. Forsaken, decayed, but still alive. He falls. Devi's left in this 1v2, and he's got a Vandal. He has a blind opponent in front of him, too. Now off the swing. Yampi patient, disciplined, waiting as he holds this angle. Puts the onus on Divide to make a move.
Oh my god.
This time in favor of Liquid.
Nice try.
It is just ridiculous what these two teams are putting on the table right now. Just ridiculous. But Team Liquid are not giving this lead up. Since they lost that pistol at the beginning of the game, they're saying, no, we want to hold on. What a round.
And it was the only, again, there was a stinger in the hands of Soulcast, but that was the only real weapon that they had.
And it comes on
Nice.
late.
But not a moment too late. You see Team Sick has already taken aggressive space with Soulcast right behind him. The Haunt to make sure there's no one playing back. And they're 2 stars, taking aggressive space in short. Look at them, hand in hand, side by side.
And remember, the last time it was to set up Forsaken with a knife. This time, they've got a setup to set up Jing. He's so close right now.
So far out, you're right. They're not expecting Jing there. You're absolutely right, Paul, and you're also not expecting Forsaken.
Jing is still here.
Divide from backside. You're right, Jing on the swing. Stay alive, and Benkai, understanding they're coming right into his lap, pushes back just a tad.
And I know Reina utility is typically a meme, but Jing's dismisses have been on point. He's always looking for more before he uses that orb. Benkai as well, falling back in this situation, is very, very well handled.
Instead of taking the fight, the flank that's likely coming pivots towards safety. And this is just a higher percentage play.
Got you. 30 seconds left.
Oh my goodness, if that door was broken.
They're going to swing.
One enemy remaining.
Kok dia masuk sih?
What can Scream find? He has the spike.
Seconds, nothing.
Kok dia masuk ya?
Surely not. 10 seconds left in the round. He's now pushing forward. Maybe he gets plant for me.
Ait.
Not even that. That's unlucky. Oh, he actually made it plant money.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice try.
Scream with the third. But either way,
Apakah PRX akan menang? Itu pisau apa ya? Tumben aku lihat.
This is it, right? Again, Team Liquid broken economically because he didn't get that spike down. If they did, maybe they could have forced something here, but they're just going to have to stick with the Sheriff buys. And they've been working. This is it. The opportunity for Paper Rex has presented itself. This defensive side so far has been really good for them.
Let's make some chaos.
And they've certainly gotten Forsaken online since that first half.
From 3 and 11 to 10 and 17. I mean, yeah, he's still negative, but it's just a drastic difference from the first half. Absolutely.
Absolutely perfect.
No, Yampi with the Guardian, the one investment, the one exception to an otherwise broken buy.
Oh, he's pushing with this cam.
And this is very similar to what we saw in the previous round. The cam spot Scream, and then Yampi swings around. In the previous round, he died. This time it's Benkai who falls.
That might be a recall here for Jing to go a little aggressive.
The one benefit for Paper X is Benkai died in a position where they can't pick up his weapon.
He's getting
not easily.
Deep flank here.
Yeah, he is. And Forsaken is the op.
They're spread around him, though.
Oh, he's so patient. But they spotted him anyway.
They're going back into him.
Off, and Jing on the flank! Jing on the
Whoa!
flank! He gets 3!
Nice Jing.
There. One enemy
Oh, he's got 4.
Apakah kan ace adik-adik?
Step away from an ace.
Mati. Ah,
And
gagal
he's the one who takes it
ace.
from him. But either way, the damage was done. Paper X take the lead.
One
Anjir.
small gap. And the slow approach from Team
Gagal
Liquid
ace dong.
after they got the first kill. And Jing sneaks all the way out behind them.
down. C.
In between
One
of
enemy remaining.
everybody from Team Liquid who had some sort of map control. What a round.
Apa ya Forsaken ini ya, kesel ngeliatnya anjir.
Smiles all
Coba
around
itu
for the boys
desktopmu
who for a
menghalangi.
while, it felt like they were just hanging on for dear life, right? Trying so desperately
Jan,
not to
sini
lose
Jan, ke
control
Discordku,
of the
Jan.
situation.
5 people here down to C-Long.
Light armor on everyone on the side of Liquid.
Fast.
Matter when there's an op.
Sini ke Discordku Jan.
They're going fast, and they go right into the stars of Paper X.
Paper X is feeling it. At the
One
end of this
enemy
game,
remaining.
they have shut everything Team Liquid has
Itu
thrown
Kabi masih ada
down.
boy. Ayo dong. Aduh mati nih Jing
Ultimately,
nih.
if it's just at the end,
Banting mouse dia nih.
hey, it doesn't really matter.
Nice.
Flawless comes through for Paper X as they have taken the lead.
Wamo.
And to be honest, Ball, I know we've alluded to this a little bit, but I didn't
One
think we would
more.
find ourselves here.
This is
One
a
more
wild
time.
swing for Paper X. The most streak of rounds that they've had so far. Except towards the tail end of that first half. Which even things out and even put this in a position to be like this. But Team Liquid just got shut down on a fast C execute without even entering the choke.
Penontonnya PRX cok, lihat cok.
That's certainly something worth celebrating.
Ramai banget anjir, orang-orang kayak mau
Match
ini
point
anjir. Suntik vaksin.
with his efforts.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Double spam.
god.
In the demo, he's trying to set up his teammates to go fast into grass.
Palanya deh.
I mean, is this the knockout blow on Haven? Oh,
That almost.
Kehancur
beast
dong.
right? It almost felt like Team Liquid needed to pull another
Yeah.
low buy win out. They'll have to do it again here.
Ini kalau
They're
udah
already a man down.
skornya satu lagi mau menang nih, ke pressure kali cok. Tim yang kalah nih.
Mind-free cosmic divide, everything stacks up so heavily against
Jangan
Liquid.
sampai Jumpy dapat
Even if they
headshot
win,
nih.
it has to be clean for them to maintain some sort of economic evenness in the next. Stakes so high for Team Liquid here.
And it's on their
Satu
map.
garage, 3A.
Pearl is next. And who knows
Jangan
what
deh
Pearl
macam-macam
This
garage.
is a stack as well, kind of, for Paper X. They've got 3 players nearby.
Ching is kind of taking a step back. He just leered out mid. It wasn't cleared out, so he knows there's no presence that way.
Aduh.
Rotate back. Devi is falling. Bankai's still up
30 seconds
top.
left.
He's
Scream
got
has
the
his ult
trip,
now.
but he's got the trip. You can tell he's standing for it, looking for it now. There's the ult that you just mentioned, the showstopper out for Scream. Jing has fallen. Bankai still not cleared out. It doesn't feel good.
Aduh,
Oh,
sumpah.
Yampi's on the flank. Screen has been spotted. Solka's trying to spam, trying to find the blades, and he does.
One
Now
enemy
retreats
remaining.
into hell as Bankai from up top has to jump down. Blocks him out
Oh.
of the sky. Liquid, they're not done yet.
Ayolah, satu lagi cok.
They pulled one of those elusive low eco wins again out right at the final moment.
It just seems commonplace at
Ayo
this
dong, satu lagi.
Entire game has been filled with that. What a shot from Scream. I thought for sure Devi was going to net himself a kill there.
Di one tap dong si
Soulcast
Jing.
as well, handling Forsaken.
One enemy remaining.
Yampi took the flank to its fullest extreme. I mean, he came
Sumpah
all the
Jampi
way to
ini
the back of them
ngeflank
before
map
firing a
siapa
single
nih?
bullet.
Kayaknya kayaknya ya
This is it.
mapnya si Liquid kayaknya nih.
That was clean enough.
Kalau nggak Liquid PRX. Wah, 12 sama dah ini Ci.
But it's Yampi who wins it out. Yampi who popped off, who pounded.
Double ult
in
to
the
Jing
first
is in the
half.
corner. He's so stunned up.
But did they check him? Yes, they do. Soulcast cleans him up. Betrayed by the Nightfall.
Oh,
they've
Ah,
just
12 sama, Ci.
Paper X.
Apa ya orang-orang ini ya?
Liquid take us to overtime.
For second coba main sabar Ci. Dapat dia itu no.
Unreal performance out from Yampi at the end there, man. You think about how strong he was in the first half and how it became the Jing show. For him to be the one to shut down Forsaken. For him to be the one to give Liquid the advantage.
Unreal.
Nice try dah. For second kenapa tuh nggak tahu Ci. Emang W Gaming kali.
Win rounds in situations that are so difficult to win, and they pull them out so many times.
Cuma Jing loh yang bagus mainnya, Cok. Gugup mungkin bangsat. Udah turnamen berapa kali masa sih masih gugup, Cok? Enggak sih, dia nggak mau ngelambatin tempo permainannya dia lagi sedikit gitu, Ci. Mainnya barbar kali, no. Mati-mati nggak jelas dia jadinya, Ci. Bukannya nggak jelas gimana ya, terlalu overconfident gitu. Akhirnya bundir tuh maksudnya dibunuh musuh tapi dia nggak ada yang backup kayak gitu. Jadi duelisnya yang berfungsi cuma si Jing aja jadinya.
Prowler finds one.
Trip is in an unconventional spot as well. It's going to be where they execute.
And they know Benkai just tagged it out. Starting to wrap around, they're starting to take short control.
Kalau feelingku ya feeling. Ini kayaknya menang Liquid sih map ini, Cok. Kayaknya. Cek semua dong. Jangan langsung ngeplan. Aduh, ya ampun.
But Forsaken stops him.
Sudah ku bilang.
Soulcast goes forward, but Mind Freak is behind him.
Spike down
And Soulcast doesn't know. This should be one of the easiest kills of his life, and it is. Now pushing forward, the Spike hasn't been playing it. 13 seconds left. He's gonna have to go fast.
There's an aftershock here from Nobar as well.
10 seconds left.
He's got to commit here. I know you want to check. You want to find everything you can. He's repositioned. Ember's up top. He's gotten into a 1v1, but he's not gonna have time for the play.
Nice
The swing never shows up. Liquid take the lead.
What a round! Mind Freak for a second definitely had time to plant there, but he expected the swing. He just expected it.
Tapi Mind Freak kelamaan deh kayaknya dia bokong kayaknya ya.
Still, what a round from Liquid. There was definitely at that first tap.
He thought for sure.
Oh my goodness.
Just expecting the flank. Expecting the swing.
Wah anjay, ngetosnya jauh kali, Cok.
Navara and Demasig both use their utility for the two players who were in sewers. That Paper X did not clear out.
Jing on the spam, not gonna find a free one this time.
Kayaknya sih menang Liquid nih. Seru ya guys ya. Seru no.
They're spreading the map too, all over the place right now.
Remember, it was Forsaken who came alive, who came online for Paper X in the second half. He's got that glass cannon, and he's over at C where the challenge is not.
Bengkai, ayo dong.
Towards A. You see the rotation start to come through. Jing hurrying over, Mind Freak following shortly thereafter.
That guy's got his trips up close, doubled up. It's gonna be hard to expect that.
He's just played up there so many times, though. And this time he's smoked off the fault line, the aftershock, the nade, the paranoid.
Rotate dong, C-nya rotate.
See the exchange of utility. Right, Jing is in the corner and he finds two big ones. Soulcast on trade back, but Benkai still concealed, waiting for the glimmer, waiting for the chance to get a free one.
These tags are getting so much value.
Here.
So much delay.
4v3 in favor of Paper X to buy it. swing. Mind Freak follows. Divide cleans it up. Soulcast trying to get it.
Nice. Asu.
What a good retake for Paper
Ayo
X,
dong,
but also Team
konsisten
Liquid
mainnya.
just not breaking that camera for so long. We're going to our second overtime right now. And Team Liquid had their one chance
Panggung di luar negeri nih
to
emang
break this game.
gak ada tandingannya sih. Lantainya aja jadi display. Keren.
30 kills now for Jing.
Emang beda negara berkembang sama negara maju ya guys.
It's actually crazy. The two stars, Yampi and Jing, are the only ones positive on their teams. Oh, I just lied to all of you. I just lied to every single one of you. Divide messed me up.
Yeah, he's always in the back line.
Either way, they're popping off. They're pounding.
Still giving up on any sort of other pressure outside of this A lobby control from Paper X. There is the star for them to pivot into a C pop eventually.
Kalau ada yang kecuali sih enggak emang.
Now you wonder if anyone slipped into cubby or not down long.
Aduh 3A.
Reclear. There's a flash here from Navera.
Here's everything.
Udahlah.
I got the spike.
Coba dari tadi main default nih ke A terus apa kan orang-orang nih sih.
Remember at the beginning of this game, Team Liquid was failing on those aggression middle of the round. This time it's going so well.
Oh, they can't see it, man. And look at the utility dump on the side of Liquid Divide though. He slipped his way in. Backside of the flash. They're both so blind. Forsaken's able to take her one, understanding Divide does that there's at least one more there. Navera on their tree. Benkai awaiting the swing, awaiting the pressure. Yeah, it takes a good bit of damage. He's got satchels thrown his way. How do we do it that far? Forsaken now choosing to use the Blade Storm. Spike ticking away and the kill doesn't go through. It's Liquid hold the line yet again.
Kalau nahan angle dapat itu iya,
Paper X really wanted to maintain space on that side.
Mereka nih ketebak kali masalahnya mainnya PRX nih sih. Gak mau belajar dari kesalahan apa orang-orang ini ya?
Here's the reclear that opened up the round here for Team Liquid. The flash and Yampi swinging.
Teng mundur.
Really good setup, and you can see it the entire time. Then scream with that arm, man. My goodness.
Crazy. Randy Johnson out there, man. Tell me you know who Randy Johnson is.
Some sort of enemy.
Kalau prediksi Kejan siapa menang nih di match ini nih? Liquid apa PRX?
Team Liquid again match.
Kalau aku Liquid no. Kalau aku ya.
And again, they're on the attacking half. Paper X with a chance to hold serve here. As it seems to be a half of defenses for both of these teams. And look at this heavy aggression down long. Three have pushed their way up.
Oh, the recall!
Oh, and the recall, you're absolutely right! But Liquid walk away with the advantage, and it's a big one!
Gamblingnya di... Aduh, ronde terakhir sih.
The paranoia, Mind Freak has to push forward. There was a nade at his feet behind
Ah,
him. Too
GG dah.
much pressure, too much damage, and now Benkai with way
Oh my gosh.
too much before him. He slipped through, but the thing is, Scream's got behind him, and I don't think he knows, actually. Sneaking suspicion, Demasix swings around the
Liquid
3K.
anjing apa sih orang-orang ini ya?
Haven goes in favor of Liquid,
Sumpah.
15 to 13. What a marathon.
All the way to the end. Multiple overtimes here, Team Liquid and Emil. Super happy about that one because remember this situation. They were down 2 when Paper X was on match point after having the lead almost the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, they almost lost control.
It was a close affair. But you have to be super happy that you didn't let that one slip if you're Team Liquid.
Masih kenapa dia main ngerasnya tuh di ronde terakhir kayak gitu ya?
I want to just very quickly go back to him because the guy had himself a day. Not only was he 29 and 18, 9 first bloods. No one else was even close, man. He had such a good performance. And you see him on the screen there now, popping off. Shots
Nice try dah.
were just so clean. This
Absen, halo Grace.
Just filth.
Just disgusting.
Nice try, nice try.
We've always considered him potentially, you know, one of those guys who could push up for top opera in the world. But they just never committed to it. Now he is. I think this might be one of the few times you've seen just a raw opera rip apart Paper X. Because the
Ini kalau penonton, kalau kalah PRX ini penontonnya kok kada kasih liatin ya muka-mukanya kayak gimana?
Durka, yay. Sometimes struggling with it at Copenhagen. That was certainly a storyline.
And they've definitely tried. But you're right, it really feels like Yampi was able to weather the chaos of Paper X in ways that other teams haven't, in ways that other stars haven't. And as much as the map doesn't go in favor of Paper X, it's a bit of it's bittersweet. Right?
Kesel kenapa?
You feel really good about going up against Liquid on Haven in that fashion, right? The fact that you were able to hang on to the lead, get it to overtime. Ultimately, you weren't able to win it out, but you didn't fold, you didn't roll over, and now you've got Pearl on the other side, which should be a comfort spot for them. I think with all of that in mind, Paper X, don't feel bad about that one.
No, absolutely not. Again, they brought it back. It was such a deep. I mean, it was a close game the entire time, but for them to hold on and make it to overtime, take that lead, the problem was just basically the same things that were happening over in regulation, right?
Yep.
And yeah, you're talking about Pearl in the future. We've already seen them play. So
biasalah
it's
PLN
certainly
ngajak
something
berantem.
that I
Oh,
think they're comfortable
lagi
watching,
mati
and it's
listrik
not.
di situ.
And so there's no research on them.
If map 1 was good, hopefully this means map 2 will be better. We'll be back right on the other side of this break.
Siapa yang isi YouTube-nya Brigadir Sambo, guys? Lagi live malah mati lampu. Emang belum hidup? Bom diffuse, red win. Tadi pas aku matiin laptop malah nyala. Streaming lagi lah.
Aja ya. Nah, itu gimana ceritanya, Mei? Jauh banget gitu loh. Yang penting kan MP Talk dulu, Bos. Hai semuanya, balik lagi di MP Talk dan kali ini gue bukan ngundang pro player, sebenarnya pro player sih. Tapi gue bukan undang pro player cowok ataupun streamer Mobile Legend. Ini gue undang buat sekarang menurut gue dia ini salah satu penguasa di TikTok ya. Yaitu Maiden. Halo Mei.
Halo.
Kok lu kalem banget sih? Lu tuh kayak berbeda dibandingkan gue biasa lihat di TikTok gitu loh.
Harus beda
Siapa
dikit
yang pernah
lah.
nonton
Jangan
ini di TikTok, guys?
terlalu brutal.
Nanti ya, ini kan masih
ya.
opening.
Betul.
Gimana kabarnya Mei?
Baik.
Sehat.
Sehat.
Lancar, masih live gituan.
Masih
walaupun yang gue lihat banyak badai menerpa juga.
Betul.
Ya.
Walaupun banyak yang bacot lah.
Bacot.
Iya.
Ya biasa sih. Kalau orang kan biasa semakin tinggi kan semakin banyak anginnya, semakin kencang gitu kan. Cuma nanti kita bakal bahas lagi Maiden di TikTok. Tapi Maiden ini dia itu kan aslinya pro player. Berangkat dari pro player. Gue yakin banyak banget pasti nggak tahu Mei.
Betul.
Iya kan?
Iya.
Kan orang taunya kayak oh ini TikToker gitu, emang tukang jualan gitu kan. Tapi dia berangkat, coba lu boleh ceritain gak sih gimana awal mulanya Mei? Dari awal mungkin kan kita tahu Mobile Legends ya banyak cowok, ya kayak Hengki lah, Hengki dan yang lain-lain itu kan banyaknya cowok. Kenapa tiba-tiba lu kayak tertarik dan akhirnya bisa masuk ke industri e-sport tuh gimana?
Jadi dulu tuh awalnya main-main doang gara-gara liat abang gua.
Oke, abang lu main
ya. Iya, game apaan tuh? Apaan tuh?
Apa?
Terus Mobile Legend ya udah gue main kan, gue coba-coba main. Itu kalau nggak salah 2016 apa 2017 dah.
Udah lama banget dong.
Dari season 2 gue main.
Dari skin Alucard.
Skin Alucard, iya. Nah itu gue tapi masih klasikan doang. Klasikan doang. Terus habis itu seru juga gue bilang kan. Ya udah habis itu baru gue pertamanya nggak tahu kalau bisa ngerank. Jadi kata temen gue, kita tuh jangan ngerank nanti bintang kita turun. Sedangkan gue belum punya bintang satu pun di situ. Jadi ya udah main, baru ngerank. Abis itu ya naik gitu. Abis itu gue ya kayak gitulah harus kenal sama cowok kan dulu zaman dulu buat digendong.
Iya.
Karena dulu cewek tuh nggak ada yang main Mobile Legends tuh nggak ada.
Gak sebanyak sekarang lah ya.
Iya. Terus ya udah gue kenalan sama yang mana menurut gue jago, gue deketin.
Lu deketin dia gimana maksudnya?
Iya.
Deketin dia gimana?
Ketemu di rank kan, deketin kayak ya udah gue add.
Oke.
Jago banget, ayo main lagi, gue bilang kayak gitu.
Tapi posisi dia emang udah tahu lu cewek juga.
Harus tahu dulu. Pertamanya dia nggak tahu kan. Tapi emang gue nggak beban sih.
Oke.
Jadi dia mau main.
Oke.
Ayo katanya. Terus abis itu ya udah dia tukeran WA. Habis itu chatan, ayo main lagi. Tapi nggak pacaran, kayak cuman deket-deket Discord gitu loh.
Deket-deket PHP gitu ya.
Kalau misalnya udah naik rank gua nih, ganti lagi. Yang penting gimana caranya gua tuh bisa ke posisi itu
tertinggi
gitu
ya.
Bisa ke mitik itu. Jadi gua dapet. Jadi yang pertamanya gua deketin tuh lama-lama jadi temen gua.
Oke.
Awalnya PDKT, akhirnya lama-lama kita kayak sahabatan gitu. Berjuang sama-sama kayak gitu. Terus abis itu gue 2017-2018 itu kan gue kuliah ya. Gue kuliah, abis itu gue berhenti kuliah.
Oh lu berhenti? Lu umur berapa sih sekarang?
Gue umur 22.
22, berarti kuliah baru tahun 2000 itu masih semester berapa gitu berarti ya?
Enggak, gue 2016 udah lulus.
2016 lulus SMA?
Iya, gue 16 tahun udah lulus SMA.
Cepet banget.
Gue umur 5 tahun udah SD.
Oh lu setahun lebih cepet kan? Berarti emang 2016 lulus SMA.
Ya langsung 2017 tuh 2016 ya gue kuliah.
Oke.
2016 gue kuliah, kenal Mobile Legends tuh rusak lah. Bangun siang mulu kan.
Berarti lu se-edik itu ya? Bukan cuma kayak main-main biasa doang. Oke.
Ditambah waktu itu orang tua gue pisah.
Linknya ada di deskripsi.
Jadi gue cari penghasilan tuh dari turnamen-turnamen kayak gitu.
Jadi emang lu maksudnya bukan cuma sekedar main doang ya, tapi sambil nyari juga.
Kan gue tuh dulu bukan, kalau bisa dibilang emang bukan dari orang yang susah. Gue emang dari kecil sama orang udah orang yang berada. Jadi tiba-tiba pas orang tua gue pisah, gue kayak kaget gitu.
Oke.
Terus papa gue kan yang marah gitu loh. Jadi dia nggak mau kasih gue uang sepeser pun. Terus habis itu mama gue tuh yang pergi tanpa bawa apa-apa.
Oke.
Kayak dia nggak bawa apa-apa, yang penting gimana caranya gue pisah deh sama nih orang gitu.
Oh udah gak peduli lagi lah ya.
Intinya gue pisah dulu
ini,
kayak gitu.
Iya.
Urusan uang tuh belakangan kan, sedangkan yang pegang uang papa gue semua.
Podcast seputar
jadi papa gue tuh yang kayak nggak mau ngasih
Mobile
uang
Legend.
ke anaknya, kayak ngambek gitu. Pokoknya gue ngambek, nggak mau ngasih uang ke lu gitu.
Oke.
Jadi gue 2018 tuh bener-bener pontang-panting. Gimana nih cari duit gitu. Ya udah gue turnamen Mobile Legend.
Karena emang udah maksudnya lu bingung juga ya. Tapi itu jadi salah satu faktor lu gak kuliah lagi gak?
Ya.
Karena gak dibayarin juga kuliahnya.
Papa gue tuh juga manjain adik gue. Jadi ada di situ gue minta uang buat beli buku, disuruh sama kuliahnya. Gak dikasih. Gak ada uang, gak mau, katanya kayak gitu.
Oke.
Udah gue pulang lagi kan. Oh ya mungkin emang gak ada duit ya kan.
Iya.
Tiba-tiba adik gue pamerin sepatu roda harga 300.000. Terus gue nanya, dari mana nih? Kok lu bisa punya sepatu roda baru? Gue bilang, dibeliin papa. Gue langsung kayak, anjing, giliran gue minta beli buku gak ada. Jadi kayak dia tuh mungkin cuman manjain karena adik gue kecil aja gitu. Jadi dia bener-bener manjain adik gue.
Jadi gue sama kakak gue tuh gak tahu, aku gak pernah main.
Selalu dah pokoknya kayak gitu. Dia kayak ngambek sama mama gue gitu.
Gak pernah main.
Jadi kayak selalu mau ngapain gitu.
Oke. Dan lu yang jadi ya sedih sih sebenarnya, kita sebagai anak ya. Karena itu kan di luar kuasa kita juga sebenarnya kan. Kita cuma terima jadi ya pelampiasannya aja kasarnya ya. Oke, terus
gue kan yang kaget. Gue gak bisa ngapa-ngapain nih. Gue gak tahu mau ngapa-ngapain karena udah hidup enak dari kecil kan. Terus tiba-tiba kayak gitu. Jadi gue kaget gitu, gue harus ngapain. Terus gue turnamen. Gue pernah turnamen sama yang back itu.
Oh si Gilang.
Iya.
Oh iya.
Gue pernah satu tim sama dia.
Lu
dulu.
dari Jambi juga soalnya ya. Oh jadi satu kota. Ya Jambi kecil sih. Maksudnya rata-rata orang kenal kan satu sama lain.
Tapi udah gitu dia kayaknya pisah dari tim gue nggak tahu dah.
Oke.
Terus gue turnamen itu ya cari kalau misalnya juara 2 ya dapet, kalau juara 1 dapet gede, kalau juara 3 kan dapetnya kecil ya. Tapi gue kalau turnamen itu menang terus.
Juara 1 terus.
Ya, jadi kayak bener-bener gue tuh di Jambi tuh yang dikenal cewek sendirian yang turnamen terus
dalam keluarga ada diskriminasi
gitu
gitu
lah.
anjir, kasihan juga
Terus
liatnya. Makanya Ray,
gue ada ketemu
kita
Pak
nontonnya yang beginian
Ganjar
nih
dulu.
seputar Mobile Legend tuh
wali kota
ada kesedihan
gitu.
Iya. Wali kota Gubernur Jawa Tengah ya.
Iya.
Yang lu salah nyebutnya namanya kan.
Gue 2018 gue nggak tahu itu dia siapa.
Oke.
Kan. Yaudah gue pertama duduk nih nunggu giliran gue main di tribun.
Itu di Jambi masih?
Di Jambi.
Oke.
Di tribun itu nggak ada penontonnya, cuman kita jadi kayak turnamen di dalam kantornya gitu. Gue lagi duduk, tiba-tiba ada yang mukul gue kan kayak gini. Gue kira om gabut doang, makanya gue manggilnya om.
Ya wajar, oke.
Ya gue nggak tahu kan. Namanya gue 18 tahun apa 17 tahun itu gue nggak tahu.
Iya.
Dia gini-gini gue.
Aku semenjak akunku hilang tuh kagak pernah on. Pas udah
Kenapa
balik
om?
malah jarang on.
Kenapa om? Gue bilang kamu cewek sendiri di sini katanya. Iya om, gue bilang kan. Oh semangat ya, semoga kamu sukses di dunia game ini kata dia.
Emang akun
Gila
sempet
ya,
hilang?
aku bangga sih sama kamu cewek sendiri. Oh dia sambil nepuk kayak gini, dia duduk sebelah gue, ambil rangkul gue kayak gini.
Oh jadi kayak gini?
Iya, jadi kayak menurut gue tuh kayak siapa nih kok SKSD menurut gue. Gue gak tahu. Nah, oh ya amin makasih ya om, gue bilang kayak gitu. Gue manggilnya om.
Iya salah juga sih.
Iya karena di Jambi tuh ya manggil om.
Iya manggil om. Sama di Palembang juga manggil om kalau udah yang tua ya.
Iya. Iya om, gue bilang oh ya sudah ya, semangat ya, semoga menang kata dia. Ya terus gue ke tempatnya mama gue. Balik. Mama gue lagi nonton nih TVRI Jambi. Di TV tuh gue liat muka Pak Ganjar. Hah? Gue bilang ini yang tadi nepuk-nepuk gue nih, gue bilang. Ini om yang tadi nepuk gue ini siapa, gue bilang. Terus mama gue langsung, hah sumpah kata mama gue kan. Ih dia itu gubernur loh. Terus mama gue kayak ngefan gitu, katanya ganteng kan. Dia tuh ganteng banget. Emang iya Lin, dia ngomong apa. Terus dia bilang gue bilang sempat. Dia doain aku supaya sukses di Mobile Legend. Ih terkabul itu kata mamaku. Soalnya kalau kita didoain sama orang yang jabatannya tinggi terkabul kata mamaku kayak gitu. Oh emang iya, emang itu gubernur, aku bilang. Iya kamu dari mana aja sih, kok goblok banget kata mamaku. Nggak tahu, gue bilang. Ya udah dari situ ya mungkin sekarang ngefek lah doanya Pak Ganjar. Makanya gue terima kasih sama Pak Ganjar.
Iya siapa tahu emang maksudnya dari doa itu ya kita nggak tahu juga kan apakah emang benar atau enggak. Tapi ya terbukti ya.
Terbukti doanya manjur nih.
Oke.
Meskipun gue camat ya kan.
Oke. Terus udah tuh berarti itu lu menang nggak yang pas di turnamen yang itu? Enggak kalah ya.
Kalah karena itu belum, tim gue masih tim berantakan gitu loh.
Berarti sejauh itu lu masih main sama cowok ya?
Masih main sama cowok. Jadi lawan cowok juga gitu.
Lawan cowok juga. Itu role lu apa dulu?
Mid.
Oh langsung udah mid.
Core.
Mid core yang mid 1-2-2 kan dulu kan mainnya kan?
Iya.
Jadi kayak main Gusion, Kagura gitu-gitu.
Kaguranya Kagura yang pakai buff gitu.
Iya. Oh.
Dulu gue yang pegang midnya. Jadi gue main Kagura. Dulu gue cuman bisa Kagura sama Lunok.
Iya pas zaman Lunok juga.
Iya Lunok itu OP banget jadi kan. Dulu gue pernah global Lunok juga sama global Kagura juga. Jadi setiap turnamen itu dua itu di ban terus.
Terus lu main apa kalau itu dua di ban?
Cushion.
Bisa.
Oh,
gila preman juga. Gue pikir lu mainnya kayak support. Kan biasanya kan kalau cewek-cewek kan mainnya support kan. Entah Rafa atau apa. Soalnya masih meta yang cover MM juga, cover bawah gitu kan. Oke.
Ya udah, terus habis itu ya paling dapatnya berapa ya kan? Paling kayak dapatnya 1 juta bagi 5 lah gitu.
Iya, itu biasa juara 1-nya 1 juta kan?
Iya, biasanya juara 2 kan aku biasanya dapat juara 2 sama juara 3 doang tuh. Soalnya juara 1 udah ada yang bener-bener dewa banget gitu, nggak bisa dikalahin.
Megang banget lah cowok semua gitu isinya ya. Oke.
Itu paling dapatnya 500. Jadi aku kayak pusing kan. Aduh, gimana nih? Pusing banget nyari uang kayak gitu. Jadi umur 17 tuh aku udah mikirin gimana cari uang sendiri. Soalnya orang tua aku kayak lagi pada berantem kan, gak mau ngasih uang. Aku sampai pernah kepikiran kayak ini bener-bener udah ini banget nih. Sampai kepikiran apa jual perawan aja kayak gitu, sampai kepikiran kayak gitu.
Anjir, sampai kepikiran jual
Karena
perawan.
udah bener-bener yang depres juga ya. Jadi kayak nggak tahu sampai mau ngelakuin apa.
Soalnya kan apa namanya kuliah berhenti tuh. Ya udah terus aku kayak kepikiran gimana jual perawan aja gitu.
It's okay. Iyalah setiap orang kan pasti apa punya titik terendahnya yang emang sorry Mei ya. Gue nggak tahu sih, maksudnya kayak gue juga merinding juga ini, maksudnya lu punya background yang gak semua orang itu bisa lewatin lah, dan gue yakin lu tahu kalau semua orang juga tahu kalau lu emang ya sekuat itu.
Terus udah kayak gitu kan, akhirnya udah kepikiran kayak gitu, akhirnya ada e-sport, Beletron, sama Gladion open trial cewek. Nah, dulu gue pernah sempet trial bareng Vivian dan yang lain-lain gitu.
Oh bareng jadi ya?
Ya. Nah terus habis itu sebenarnya gue masuk tuh ke Beletron sebenarnya. Cuman gue baru di tahap berapa gue ngundurin diri. Gue masuk ke Gladion. Gue masuk ke Gladion itu karena mikir gajinya lebih gede daripada BTR kan. Jadi oh yaudah. Soalnya di BTR itu, di Beletron itu kita belum tentu keterima. Meskipun rumornya udah pasti keterima, tapi kan belum tahu ya kan. Ya udah aku masuk ke Gladion itu, sekarang udah mati squadnya.
udah nggak ada lagi ya.
Udah gak ada. Nah aku masuk ke situ, ya udah akhirnya masuk ke Gladion gitu. Cuman di situ kan dulu nggak ada turnamen cewek kan dulu. Masih kayak sepi-sepi, paling FGL.
Iya masih dikit banget lah, belum dilirik dan player-player cewek juga belum sebanyak sekarang kan. Terus
masuk Gladion, ya udah pokoknya main sama tim itulah. Akhirnya 2018 itu gak lama Victim buka trial kalau gak salah.
Oh buat ladiesnya.
Nah di situ kesempatan aku kayak wah tinggal di GH gak nih? Kesempatan aku buat kabur dari rumah ini gitu, ngerti gak sih? Wah mau banget. Jadi ya udah aku coba trial. Akhirnya berangkat nih ke Jakarta, kepanggil.
Oh dari trial
lolos tahap kedua gitu kan. Di situ aku sempet ketinggalan pesawat. Iya. Aku baru pertama kali naik pesawat itu.
Oh dari Jambi kan?
Dari
kan
Jambi
airport kan?
Aku gak ngerti, aku kira pesawat itu berangkatnya jam 5. Ya udah kita 4:30
berangkat dari rumah.
Gue kira
itu masalah semua orang kampung sih ya. Baru pulang juga kayak gitu. Jadi mikirnya kayak naik kereta kan?
Bener.
Iya.
Jam 5 berangkat sudah santai. 4:30 ayo Pak anterin, gue bilang. Ya kata papa kan.
Baca chat,
sekali dianterin sampai sana. Udah berangkat, udah gak bisa kak, check-innya udah dari tadi katanya kayak gitu. Ternyata ada check-in kan.
Ada check-innya.
Udah mulai. Gak ada GoPay no. Kayak baru pulang pan. Anjas udah jadi pekerja sekarang.
The Prowler off of the flash keeps Scream back for now. But there's just so much utility. There's so many crossfires. There are so many swings happening all at once. Through all of it though, Paper Rex stands strong. Wall up, the spike down. And Demasik left in this 1v4. Nothing but a Spectre to his name. And he doesn't stick around for very
long. Tadi jam 10 ambil satu mobil di Kuta.
Solid anti-bonus, but it all starts with Forsaken taking down Yumpy.
Berarti kan libur hari Minggu aja apa dia?
And all Paper Rex does is say, okay, we should have an advantage on this side of the map. And they did, but they still had to take it slow. But also note, the Viper wall that Navarre is constantly using is mostly towards middle, mostly towards the A side. And they're also placing their second controller, Demasik, over here. He does have global impact, but he doesn't have the same type of reaction that you can have. So they're certainly going to be relying on this op right now that Yampi has online.
Doesn't look like there's a challenge for him anytime soon. Meanwhile, Jing is aggressively
Minggu
taking
depan
space
baru dapat
into
libur,
Art.
anjas.
You're going to see that haunt through the little window in Art. Over and
Baru
over.
baru
Jing
ganti
double
kartu
shadows out
HP tiap jam bikin status polone.
It's just where that gravity wall was a moment ago, and they've taken all of this space. Scream having to back up as you've got Nobar and Demusik not nearly as fortunate, not able to retreat towards safety. They're going to have to go back into main, and they've got Benkai, who should be pushing up here in just a moment if they choose to commit, but no.
Still maintaining control of the flank possibilities here from Team Liquid 2. 50 seconds left. They've got the early pick. And also, there's still, you were mentioning Benkai, that pressure.
Soulcast just on the other side of the doors. He spotted a gun barrel, but he finds nothing. Jing with the spam.
Oh.
Spike down mid.
Sepi Discord nggak? Aku nggak pernah di VIP lagi pan. Aku di Discordku sendiri.
30 seconds left.
We're seeing a repeat here of Haven.
I mean, 3 kills already with 2 bullets. And Yampi's again been left alone on B backside.
Sendiri dong, iya.
That hasn't been
Udah
a problem for him
udah
before.
berapa
He's
hari
one
ya?
player, and off of that, Demusik starts to rotate back. 12 seconds left. They should
4 hari apa 5 hari?
cause more problems. No, Benkai cleans him up. Spike down at the hands of Mind Freak. A 2v2 here as the gravity was just a bit off. Mind Freak choosing to go aggressive.
Udah nggak ngungsi ke DC-nya.
Super flank from Navera 2. That trip is down.
Iya ngungsi aku ke DC-ku sendiri. DC-ku 3 hari nggak hidup. Iya orang tuh udah sibuk kerja sekarang. Udah jadi anak jalanan lagi kan.
And he finds the value he's looking for. Demusik falls. Navera with not a lot of time. He just has to back up.
Nice try.
And it's not an op either. Not able to recover the op for Yampi. In fact, it's Benkai who picks it up.
Berarti berapa jam ke kerja tuh kan? Lama kali kita kerja no. Bubuk selit terus. Ayo Ipan, thank you udah mampir Pan. Berapa jam 7 tuh? 11 jam kerja. Oh.
And he's swinging off his own trip there. After he just cleared deep down B long, so he has so much time to fight the alley rotation.
Hey, who needs support, right? Just do it all himself.
Either way, Paper X.
Kadang jam 10 nyelip satu mobil emang bangke.
Oh, it's Devi who's holding the up. Jing goes aggressive, he satchels through.
They're taking it to him.
Remember, he's the one with the tour de force. He's the one who's in some instances single-handedly won rounds for Liquid, and he finds the opener on Forsaken.
Swing with the Prowler too.
Remember, it's Devi who is the op. He's the one planting a spike. He has to back
res.
He has no res. He's dead.
Another thrifty possible here now, Liquid.
Jing 1 point away from having the showstopper. He needs 1 kill. And he's got a shot at this. Now the Cosmic Divide through. Mind Freak pushing forward. Jing alone. No, nothing found. Now deafened. Decayed. No idea what's happening on the other side, and Scream can just hold it.
Thrifty.
Just nothing you can do. Looking for the gun now. Mind Freak only gets the 1, and that's enough for Team Liquid. They don't want to challenge anymore. What a round. This is getting way too frequent here. Paper X on their anti-ecos. Yampi getting 2 kills with the tour de force. Obviously that helps. But no value out of Devi's op. Not getting the res online when there was so much room for it.
I don't think he ever shot it.
That is crazy.
I am with you. We right there.
Still a gun round here for Paper X. Looks like they might want to go fast. Remember that haunt I was talking about, Jing? He's going with a showstopper this time.
Aggressively in through Art. Prowler was just on his heels, doesn't tag. And he's gotten through, and he gets 2! One of them being the ult, so Scream has to reset.
Aduh, recoilnya dia hancur.
And now the Nightfall to push them back, to keep them at bay. But they don't back up at all. They don't give up an inch. Yes, the res comes through.
How's he get out? He does.
Ini Forsaken ini mati-mati terus sih ya. Apakah dia
Or do they fully rotate over? You see on the minimap, Liquid's already left.
kalau berat siapa mau kerja 11 jam?
I mean, it's It's not something we saw much on Haven, for them to pivot twice. Sometimes they explore back into middle. And that is what they're doing right now, but still looks like they want to fight here indoors.
Forsaken is still here. Soulcast checking those exact doors that you were just mentioning. And he is going to spot one. A lot of options here for Paper X.
A lot of options, but it looks like they don't know which one to pick on.
30 seconds left.
That was heard right there. The players in the alley, there were 3 re-clearing. Scream immediately hears it. He calls the rotate back to belong. There's 3 players who are going to be here with 20 seconds left. Paper X. Tough ask.
Pretty ridiculous to say here. Yampi's the only one who hasn't arrived. Is that going to be enough for Liquid? Can they hold the line without their star? Soulcast is able to take one, falls. Navari and Yampi, the only 2 that remain. No. The answer to the original question is no. Yampi's left with all to do before him. A 1v3 and op in hand, and he doesn't even get to shoot it off. Forsaken cleans him up.
Okay, Pan. Thank you dah mampir, Pan.
Immediate response from Paper X. After the thrifted from Team Liquid. Immediate. And again, that should have been around here for Team Liquid. I think you have to be counting your lucky stars there for him. Scream. His ult is the one who dies to that showstopper.
Yeah.
1 enemy remaining.
Paper X just walk inside of this.
Up in the hands of Devi again. This time not carrying the spike. And they're all aimed in towards B, and Yampi's pushed his way forward. He's got a Guardian too. Prowler's gonna spot him. He backs up.
3 Vandals up, so don't let that Guardian convince you otherwise. There's still a lot of firepower here for Team Liquid.
You want to play? Let's play.
Sword of Force used for Forsaken. He's the first one swinging out, holding this angle out from Cubby. No challenge yet.
Yampi consistently tries to get back into backside.
How froggy does Yampi get? He isn't even the one who steps forward. It's Forsaken who does. You see the double satchel through from Jing as they try to take the space, and they do. They succeed. The wall up from Devi, still holding the op. Aggressive. Up close. Han giving some space away. Benkai getting the spike down.
Spike planted.
Bear's really slow here up in heaven. And the other players are backing off right now. There's the guys with the weapons. So Navari just going to look for exits. And important that he does die here. Not only economically, but to get that Viper's Pit online next round.
Very good call. Obviously icing on the cake if he's able to take one with him. Find a kill, deal some economic damage.
She doesn't want to take Mind Freak out with him, surprisingly. And not going to have that pit up. That's interesting. So Paper X again, with the advantage that they've been finding on this B site. This is what they were relying on in that game against Edward Gaming. They just consistently, the opening match of Champions, were pushing down this B-long area and walling up. It's not so much relying on that wall like you would see on Icebox, but it is trying to take the fight to Yampi. Because over and over, he's there by himself. And the utilities...
Nice try. Ini kita main. Asik. Apakah lab sampai pagi? Enggak deh. Aku ke kampus paginya. Zoom in. Zoom out. Offline? Mana ada offline? Ngurusin sidang anjir. Ngantuk mau bobo dulu. Yoi. Thank you udah mampir. Kok sakit gini bosnya? Bisa nggak? Siapa menang tadi? Kayaknya ya PRX sih kayaknya. Map 2 nggak tahu dah, belum lihat aku. Bentar, kita coba lihat. Sup.
And he's gonna get a shot at it.
Iya.
It's pretty.
Map 1 menang Liquid 15-13.
And truly
Terus map
Forsaken
2
heard that.
Yeah.
Scream was not quiet about it at
masih
all.
tanding sih. PRX
We could not work out our
10,
differences.
So he does
tim
get
Liquid
the ult.
4.
And it is ridiculous that he does have it because what he's gotten.
Kayaknya kirain sampai kelar kayak nonton. Masih map 2 tuh, Dek. Aku gabut sih, diam. Na 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 na. Beda 900. Ini beda 700. 9 tambah 7 1000. PRX mimpin, Cok. Iya, 10 4 kan. Bosen tadi nontonin, gak ada yang bener-bener serak. Clay, kayaknya kira coba Clay. Aku pusing nyari artis yang gambarin karakter, gak ada yang bener-bener serak. Kenapa emangnya, Dek? Join lu Discordku, Dek. Join lu Discordku, Dek. Di linknya ada di deskripsi, Dek. Jan, kayak ngapain tuh, Jan? Discord ya, Jan. Biar ada aku aja ngobrol, Clay. Sat. Wow. Mantap, emang Forsaken nih apa kada Ci? Malas aku nonton Forsaken, mending aku nontonin Jing. Kadang-kadang bagus-bagus mainnya Forsaken, kadang jadi jelek kali gitu no. Males ya dehnya, Cok. Kasih aku roll nggak biar bisa share live. Bentar. Emang nggak bisa, Dek? Thank you yoi. Tapi rasa anjing nggak bisa dong goblok. Kontol. Hamzah Maulana. Halo Jogja. Seperti sejak awal. Thank you ya teman-teman yang udah ngikutin live streamingku hari ini. Kita ketemu lagi besok kalau misalkan aku streaming. Thank you yang udah mampir like, yang udah subscribe juga. Thank you banget semuanya. Kita ketemu lagi besok. Oke, see you on the next stream. Bye-bye.